that is mad. Wow. It's just a frame with some bucket seats. Oh yes, Aerial Nomad, of course. I remember seeing this on the television. Lots of McLarens here, as I said before. Absolutely wonderful. That's a very pretty. It's an unusual colour, that Aston, but I really quite like it. Really quite like it. It's lovely. Alright. Another DB7, or is it actually, it's got the bigger front lights, so that might not be a DB7. Very pretty design, the first of what I would call the modern Astons. Before that it was a sort of V8, but this one I think it is a DB7, but it's, there we go, it's Advantage. It's got different front lights, it's got big round lights under the main lights. More Astons here. One of the few American cars here. Latest of the R8s there, much more sort of sharp looking grille. Not sure I like it as much as the original, to be honest. It's a pretty little, I think it's a 997, but I'm not an expert. It's GTR, amazing cars. Something I've not driven yet. Quite fancy it though. Colour for the Jaguar. That's very, very nice. Now, with the roof off, of course, the Ferraris do look quite pretty. It's only with the roof on I have a problem with them. And I think that's one of my favourite McLarens. See, that I like. It's a 570S, so that's really spot on for me. Couple of, well, in fact it's one Jag. Now that is a pretty car, this latest Jag F-Type. It is a very pretty coupe, very serious looking piece of kit. A matte orange Aston Martin, wow. That's the convertible version of the MP4 12C. Doesn't look bad actually. I think they've done a better job of that than Ferrari have with the soft top. Folding hard top, I think is the way to go. Very smart. Orange McLaren, my favourite colour. Absolutely love that. Wow. And if I'm not mistaken, it's another 570. That's the GT model. It's got a few more accoutrements. That is beautiful though. That's going to get a photograph on the way back now. That's a rarity. Countach. That was the sort of thing that people had on their walls in the 80s. Amazing. Look at that. They were really hard man's cars in those days. airfield is working here. All the time we've been here, there's been planes flying in and out. That looks like a very old aircraft. Something is making a lot of noise, I like. Yeah, something approaching a practical Ferrari. The i8. Plenty of those here today. I can't really warm to it. It's a great piece of styling. Probably a little bit too fiddly. But certainly it's a trailblazer for the way forward. This ventilation, aerodynamic bit here above the red part of the light there. Probably something to do with drag, reduction of. Now this is the spiritual successor to the original M3. It's an M2 or an M1 as it would have been called originally when it first came out before they renamed everything. Sort of compact. I'd like to drive one of those. I think that would be good fun on the road rather than on the track. Ah, look at that. I think it's a CLS. Is really very impressive. Very impressive car. That car there, it's advertising Romans. An M4, of course, that really is what would have been an M3 a few years ago. They've split up their different models. Well, last few Ferraris here. We get near to the end now, near to the finish of this mega look, and it's thinning out. There's less people here. There's actually less cars as well. I get a chance to see some of them a bit more easily. Out of all the Ferrari rag tops, actually, that one is probably the prettiest with the top on. F355, if I'm not mistaken. Soon find out when we get around the back. If it's got the black panel, it's with the slats. It's definitely it is a 355. Yeah, the slatted one is the earlier model. I think it's got a 346. 355. It's obviously rampant holes. Ah, a yellow. All right. Very nice. Now there we have a Ford Focus RS. Actually great fun. Probably outhaul some of the more exotic cars, especially the older ones. Not really a supercar, but definitely a super hatch. And a pretty little Vantage. I do like those. I think they're the prettiest car ever to come out of Aston Martin. I'm sure there's lots of people that would disagree with me. Oh wow, that is very, very pretty. That's beautiful. That's come from HWM in Walton. So that's my local Aston Martin dealer. Now that is a very pretty car. Really like that window line, everything, even the wheels on this one just works very, very well. Very, very pretty car. Vanquish. Wow. That is beautiful. Yeah, don't see many of those. Definitely a fan of the Vanquish as from this moment. I haven't seen this latest model. Ah, now that's a very pretty little car. It's one of the latest offerings from the Mercedes-Benz shed. Powered by a V8 bi-turbo engine. Look at the detailing on the grille. It's amazing. The lights, everything's a work of art. The vents, it's just very pretty. Very, very pretty car. Very simple wheels. That's really quite elegant. Smooth rear end. the nearest to a 911 they've ever come. Still not a 911, but look at that. That is beautiful. The final run here along the racetrack, and then I think you'll probably be incredibly bored by now if anybody's watched this far. A purple Porsche. A purple Porsche. Look at that. That's quite something, that is. I think I'm going to move to the other side. Oh, 996. Not many 996s here. That's got the GT3 Aero kit, so the chances are it's a GT3. It is. It's a real GT3. Wow. That is beautiful. I can't help but like them in red. Fabulous. Oh, sounds alright. Oh yeah. That's a very pretty little car. Love that. So that's the first 996, and then they moved on to this different front light arrangements for the later 996, a few years later. More Astons. Okay. RS 4 litre. That is a lovely car. Still very busy, but there's a lot less people and the cars aren't going away. This will be the last car I look at today, the Carrera GT. I've seen a few of them here. It's showing its age. It's got bits of the 996 era Porsche 911s. In fact, it's very rare, means that it's still a wonderful thing to see. Another NSX up there. I think this is where I'm going to leave it, actually. So, this is Richard saying goodbye from Goodwood, the 2017 Supercar breakfast meet, and it's been really good. It's been fantastic. I hope it hasn't been too boring for you. If anybody's watched this far,